Hello, everybody. My name is Garland Puffenberger. This is my Chameleon Wasabi, and today I'll be talking about the forest fires in Shenandoah, West Virginia. Welcome to my podcast, where we uncover the untold stories of the forest fires raging in the hills of Shenandoah, West Virginia. Join us as we shine a light on the challenges faced by this disaster and explore the resilience of its people in the face of nature's fury. This personally has affected me and my family because my grandmother body leased over. She's been affected by this because she lives in the area where these forest fires are happening. So she's actually currently staying with my family because she was asked to be evacuated. Officials asked her to be evacuated because due to hazardous conditions. And my grandma, she's very worried. So what made me think of a few questions I wanted to ask, such as, when did these fires start? I was reading up, in the initial reports, read that the fire started on late Friday afternoon on September 8th, which was that was the first one. But more than 100 new fires popped up since then. Wednesday, the gust of winds, low, humid, affected more than 2.5 miles of land that are being affected by these forest fires. So that's everybody's land. Crews have been battling these fires for multiple days now. Hundreds of acres have been affected at Shenandoah National Park. They've been shutting down places in Shenandoah National Park because this has been a huge problem. One common question that I've heard when looking it up and doing my research is, how did this fire start? How did it happen? Fires have been fueled by high winds and low humidity in this area. And while investigating are still undergo, in this case of the fire, witnesses and first responders have So what causes these wildfires? Many different things can cause a wildfire, including lightning strikes, camping fire. Even a cigarette can cause a huge forest fire. But this was caused from power lines going down and high winds, and that's what caused this forest fire, and it's been raging on for a few days now. What is the damage done to the surrounding area? The fire has burned more than 55 acres of land and more than 2.5 miles of land. More than 5 homes were destroyed. One hockey rink was fully burnt all the way down. Residents of homes were evacuated and may not return as of right now. 8 structures have been burned down in the fire. 5 of them were homes and are confirmed to be lost. Surrounding area is fully destroyed. Where does the situation stand right now? The National Park Service has been sending firefighters resiliently at the fire, trying to create a fire line to stop the burning. Approximately 2.5 acres of fire has steep rock terrain continues to smolder, and many firefighters have only been able to contain about 10% of this fire, which is that still means there's 90% raging left. So this fire line should help a lot. That's why the fire line, it's like a line around the fire, and it helps stop the forest fires. It helps a little bit, but it's still you still get but we have firefighters out there every day. So I've talked about a lot of things in my podcast so far, but I want to go over a few of the things that I mentioned. I talked about the fires and how they affected many families in Shenandoah, including my lovely grandma, who is currently staying with my family. And I talked about how these fires started because of the power lines downed by the high winds were to blame for at least some of the blaze, and also talked about how the damage done to the landscape and multiple buildings were affected by this tragedy, and went over the current standing of the fire and how only 10% has been contained by many firefighters are bravely trying to secure the fire line that will help prevent fire from expanding further. If there is anything that you could take away from this situation in this podcast, is that you could be in this situation, or your family member could be in this, like my grandma. Just remember the dangers of forest fires and always be aware of your surrounding. Most forest fires are caused by humans, such as a simple flick of a cigarette could cause a forest fire. Beware. Thanks for listening to my podcast.